The boys are back in town for the second season of 2024. Throughout the transfer window, many shake-ups to all the respective lists and the competition, with the return of Pascoe Vale, who are having the bye in round one for this second season of the calendar year. I'm Adam Palombi to bring you all the coverage of round one. Very excited to be back in the Series Futsal Arena here in Thomastown. And it's the champions Fitzroy who line up against a very different looking Western United. Both sides, of course, throughout that mentioned window, are extremely busy in signing new acquisitions to boost both of their sides in hope to either retain or gain some more silverware. Jimmy Soufis for Fitzroy is in the lineup tonight. The president was busy throughout the week, of course. Had a nice chat with our media manager, Josh Fusco, about his tenure with the club. They've hit the double digits, winning the competition in the first season of this calendar year. It feels as if they're firm favourites to retain their title yet again. They are looking rather light tonight, however, though. Scott Rogan, Jimmy Soufis, Michael Newen, Josh Allen, Harry Robotis, Cosmo Russo, Mazen Abdallah and the debutant Kevin Lamb line up for the champions in that fluorescent yellow kit. As for United, they've changed the goalkeeping ranks. Aaron Yu, their latest signing. Mohamed Fedia, his understudy. Taizé Sakurada arrives from the Altona Knights. Looks to take to court early on, the number 39 for Western United. Scopelides, Fernando de Moraes. Furat Castro also joining United from Carlton. Wagner Marerio is a new name we haven't seen yet. So is Lucas Calderio. As Marcos Tsaras sounds the whistle for the second season. Sakurada with his first touch in the black and green. With Angelatos also in the lineup this evening. United in their usual customary behaviour, having a full bench. Although they had lost a couple of players out of Seb Wickett and Lucas Cassin. Both moving on to both Fitzroy and Morn respectively. So without those winger players, full onus on their new signings. Evangelista just hitting the deck, and now Scott Rogan could nearly unlocked. Cosmo Russo was arriving at the back post. Aaron Yu, a custodian of the competition. As Allen takes over, steps beyond Angelatos. Finds Scott Rogan, now Russo wants to calm things down. Rogan taking his time. Josh Allen trying to feed it through to Rogan. Couldn't go around the keeper. Aaron Yu does well to just keep the ball away from Rogan. That pass a bit uncharacteristic in the defensive half, and which Allen nearly pounced upon. So the champions playing in the same vein in which won them that title. Side who have not incurred loss in 2024. And diving, having some early impact, is their latest signing of Aaron Yu, Western United's keeper. Fitzroy appears if they haven't seemed to have left the court despite having quite the lengthy break. Of course, the women's competition had returned last week with the newly founded Heidelberg United side entering the women's competition. Alan Turikos of Heidelberg United is extremely proud to have some representation within the Series Futsal competition with their women's side, so perhaps keep your eye on their movements going forward, whether or not we might see a men's or youth side introduced in the years to come, as De Moraes just keeping Mazen Abdallah nice and honest, the keeper. Not without his accolades. Returned to Fitzroy last season rather. Ended up winning the Golden Glove, which many thought might have gone to Tyler Lewis. De Moraes back to Angelatos. Fitzroy exert that press and retain possession. Russo, Robotis at the back post. Josh Allen's been picked out. Give and go with Russo. They remain patient. Sakurada keeping Allen without that angle. Rogan tried to find one of his own. And Rogan went for the pass instead of the shot. Robotis has a bit of a laugh. Might have been a big chance for him to break the deadlock. Nice build-up of both Fitzroy and Western supporters on that left side of the stands. There's De Moraes catching practice for Abdallah. And he goes long. Yu just wasn't exactly too confident when he come out of his box to punch away. All the potential to ricochet back into his own net off the back of De Moraes, as Allen has it blocked by Sakurada. See, Skopolidis is just wanting to come on. As Russo not going around Angelatos. So United just trying to remain in their shape as Fitzroy, in their usual selves, pushing the envelope. Russo, angle opened up by Rogan. Angelatos was well aware of what they were trying to cook up. Sakurada in front of Robotis. Evangelista takes over, has Angelatos on for a pass. Instead he goes back towards De Moraes. Josh Allen gets in the way. Wanted the corner. Thought it might have taken a deflection on its way towards the rippling behind the goal. As De Moraes tries to thread the needle for Sakurada. This contest just in the usual first knockings of the season. Everything's a lot more close. Competition tends to remain rather concise in how both teams approach the games. Low scoring, yet chess-made affairs perhaps. As De Moraes just scoops towards Evangelista. Abdallah, a touch shorter than his counterpart attacker. Managed to get up and claim, as did Yu. De Moraes. Sakurada, the idea was acknowledged by Angelatos. He's not able to reciprocate. As the heavy press might allow for United to carve out a chance. As Sakurada might let fly, he's hit the bar. Taizé Sakurada looking for a debut goal. Perhaps something for the highlight, really. Wasn't too far away there, the former Knight. Heavy press had earned them possession. Should have that chance to be forthcoming, and that would have been some way to make your debut. As Nguyen appears for Fitzroy. Rogan wanted to go for a run. Angelatos said, "I'll join you." At the expense of a corner. Either side not exactly telling early on. It's made rather congested the players. Hume's happy to just tap over his bar. Allen, you can see him lurking. He's made the space. Aaron Hughes happy to just have the ball to ricochet towards him. Sakurada, nobody home. Third of the way through the first half. And the real chance I've seen so far is the Sakurada one, and the bar had rattled prior to that chance being carved out. Meanwhile, it's Nguyen at an angle of space. Might have hit his hand. At least that's what Tsaras believes. As Ferrat Castro, some fresh blood for the green and black. He's not going to find that pass from Dimoraes. It's hit the roof. Ferrat Castro was at Carlton in the early part of the first season. Made his way to the Altona Knights, I believe. But now in the colours of the green and black. Might need to resort to Josh for that one. As Castro playing that pivot role. He's unable to really manufacture anything towards Abdalla's goal. Russo. Back towards Rogan. Here's Kevin Lamb, also on his debut for his new club. Earned the nickname Kevin Clutch Lamb throughout all of his heroics for Western City. Last season, last gasp equalisers and tantalising moments. Nearly found a teammate. Now Dimoraes wants to go for a stroll and let fly towards goal. Abdallah, upon 2 attempts, claims and wanted to go quickly, but Fitzroy happy to just take their time. Nearly unkindly ricocheted. Kindly if you're Cosimo Russo, unkind if you're Aaron New. Corner awarded. Fitzroy starting to push the narrative of going in front. They're certainly asking questions. As Rogan gets it back from Nguyen. Nothing really at the back post yet aside from Michael Nguyen. Galatos happy to close off the angle. Corner again. Rogan lurking around the deep end of the court in his own half, and that pass just a bit overcooked. Skopalides. And Galatos, it's creative to find Castro! Has that gone in? Well, we're not sure. What's the call? Ferrat Castro might have thought he scored. It might. It's in fact been a free kick for Fitzroy. That's twice have hit the crossbar now, Western United. And both their debutants trying to find that highlight reel moment. Trying to set an early precedent perhaps of having a glory goal, the first for their new club. It's perhaps awoken Fitzroy as Russo couldn't find Lamb. He fizzed it right across the face of goal. For a brief moment, the mind pondered to question whether the ball had bounced on the line. As Yu does really well to come off his line, is acknowledged by his United teammates on the bench. Proactive goalkeeping. Skopalides and Galatos. Give and go between the two. Western United last season in the youth competition were head and shoulders above their counterpart opposition. Claimed a piece of silverware. They had made the Clubs Cup final, which the Northern Blues would go on to claim. As Cosimo also instinctive upon the chance, claims the opener for Fitzroy on the opening day of the season, the first of the second of 2024. Watch the replay back. It props up towards him and on the fly. It was going to take something special to get it beyond and inspired Aaron New. The finish was nothing short. 1-0 to the champions. United had defended rather well. That goal not exactly showcasing any defensive deficiencies, just perhaps a bit of misfortune with the bubble, which opened it up for a very instinctive Cosmo Rosso. Meanwhile, Evangelista instinctive, Abdallah decisive. Great save by the Mad Cat in goal. But that's one way to reply. Angus Angelatos. Evangelista kept the chance half alive. And on the bounce, makes it 1-1. Deserving of that were the side from the west of the town. Fine complexion to the contest. Dalla, although looking defeated, there's nothing he could do about that finish. Utterly brilliant from Angelatos, who's really moulding into some player for Western United on the court. As Lamb tries to open up the space, Evangelista breaks the challenge. And now De Moraes, Sakurada might have cleared off his own line. Fernando De Moraes nearly with the moment to put his side in front. Quite the veteran on the court as Sakurada turned. Wasn't far away at all. Josh Allen off the bench, introduced rather quickly by Abdallah. Now Rogan. De Moraes stepping in front of Robotis. Evangelista in the Lucas Cassin number 14, trading it for the original number he had, which was 34. It's De Moraes. Scopolides trying something clever. Got around Rogan. Couldn't find no one in the box. And that's where Evangelista had to be. As Rogan. Interplay between himself and Allen. Robotis with the side possession. He's the captain yet again. Always evasive, trying to carve out the angle with his pace. He sends two to the ground and gets his shot away. Scott Rogan. All in a flash. He had sat two green and black shirts down, but Sakurada still remains down. Perhaps just twisting awkwardly. Flash was on full animation there. He was shifting gears like a rally car racer. And he was agonisingly close. In this contest where both sides are just happy to exchange blows. At the moment, United just equaling whatever Fitzroy are throwing at them. And you hope it's nothing too serious for the coffee enthusiast, Taze Sakurada, who's had to be carried off by his United teammates, and that would be a debut disaster if he's plagued by injury. You can see he's just discussing the pain he's in. To Mo Fedia. Looks like he's in the world of discomfort. Would be his right ankle, which is the main concern. So for the meantime, United down one less player. Your thoughts with Sakurada, hoping it's nothing too serious. Allen. Here's Rousseau. Incisive to Robotis, says Allen. Robotis again on the follow-up. Vintage Fitzroy. Showcased upon that attacking scenario, which nearly paid dividends for him. Rogan. Robotis. Back to the captain. United sitting firmly in possession. Rogan trying to go around Galatos. Gets his shot away. It's up for grabs. Aaron Hughes there to claim. He's gone long quickly towards Evangelista. He tries something audacious, which nearly paid off. Was quite the distribution from the keeper. Meanwhile, at the other end, sometimes Fitzroy are too quick for their own good. They're all the same wavelength. They all compute the same ideas. It's just they're too eager to execute. As Yu executes a nice pass to Angelatos. He gets it back from Evangelista. Got to admire the way he orchestrates the play from his goal. Aaron Yu, certainly one of the many skills he possesses up his sleeve. He's caught out Fitzroy a couple of times there with those long passes over the top. Seems to just curl right beyond the last man defence. Angelatos has a corner. Happy to go back towards Dimodeus. Abdallah thought he'd go for goal. We've seen him do that before. Wonderful to see it again. I'm sure we will see it again in the second season of the year. Angelatos just gave possession away. Evangelista tried to open things up for Dimodeus. And we love the Mad Cat. Has his moments. He was awarded commentator's goal of the season. We strike against Fitzroy when he was at Carlton. As Allen thought he might have scored. The keeper was impeded. Watch the replay back, and a bit to unpack there perhaps. Russo, his effort deflecting. They're going to inquire to see what's occurred there. Scott Rogan will lead the protest. Sitsaris will try to keep things calm. So we watch it back. It's ricocheting. Has Allen really impeded the keeper? That's the question. Sure, Sitsaris might have a look and have an investigation, but a timeout has been called by the Tigers. So they've been rather kept tame by United, who have had their chances. Woodwork been struck twice. The finish from Angelatos was ever so decisive to pull them back on level terms. It's been quite the debut so far for their keeper. Aaron Hughes been busy, certainly in the crossfire rather of that recent Fitzroy attacking venture, which you feel will not result in a goal. The assistant referee's call was the latter. So you speculate what the main man in charge is thinking. He has gone for it, Aaron Ewan, in the process. Perhaps just a slight little nudge from Josh Allen. Just going to be the decisive moment upon that attacking opportunity, which means that the Tigers remain on level terms. But United using their full length of their timeout. They're in no rush to get proceedings back underway. Been hurried on. You can see Dimodeus is still having his chat as they have their last knockings of the huddle, and we're back into the thick of it. 3 fouls for United, 1 for Fitzroy, 4:23 on the clock, 1 apiece. Free kick awarded to United, and Dimodeus has just decided he does not want possession. Puts his side back, or rather onto the back foot, as Rogan. Skopalides hustling and striking wide. See Jimmy Soufis on the touchline just barking orders to his club. Quite the man he's become around Football Victoria. Has Rogan opened up the angle. The keeper had to slide on the deck. And Robotis so casually seizes upon the opportunity presented in front of him. Much like his last name, he was basically like a robot. Flung a foot right at the loose ball that propped up in front of him. And has put the champions back in front. 2-1 the score. It's just ever so calm and calculated. It was like it was a zombie almost, as Rogan in possession following that awkward back pass. A pass forward rather from Angelatos. He felt as if he was going to gear up towards goal, but I think Fitzroy are happy to just settle in some territory. Robotis was just ever so patient upon the chance. He's in again. He might have a second bite. He rolls to Russo, but Aranu is there. Might be feeling that one a little bit also, the keeper. From point blank range. Takes the bullet for his side. Bottas just trying to flick on. It might have hit his hand as he rolled towards Russo, and it's a fine save by the keeper. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Fitzroy still trying to find something. Kevin Lamb was the wide man there. Can United find an equaliser perhaps? Evangelista leading the line. Deep ball for Angelatos. Just going to roll out of play. You can see Sakurada just icing up his right ankle. Hope to see him back on the court soon, as that's if you are, of course, a United fan. Skopalides. Back to Dimoraes, who was crafty in opening up the space. The big man hits the deck, which is quite the rare sight. .90-odd seconds left. Free kick just inside the defensive half. Dimoraes, chip ball towards Angelatos. Calderio caught in possession. Now Russo moves out wide to Lamb. Might have had it stuck behind him. Tried to go through Calderio, who concedes the foul. But that will be a timeout. You feel, I thought as if Sitsaris had issued the five fouls rather. Only standing at 3. Fitzroy gaining 1. So yet another timeout, both being initiated in this first half. Sakurada back up on his feet. Have to see if he seems to be in a lot more comfort from before. So you might get to see him yet again tonight. He looks lively in possession. He's been showcasing his forward craft and was agonisingly close to coming into the contention for goal of the round. Gabriel Zeballos is happy to have a brief chat. His players just strolling back onto the court. United following suit. Start to see some of the Black Army roll in, that of Hume. The likes of Closimo and Clanaris just watching on in the background. Of course, throughout the brief transfer window we've had, Series Futsal Fabrizio has been running amok on social media. All your latest information on the transfers coming up on that page. As Rogan tried to craft something, and Galatos in front of it. Under a minute to go in the first half. Quite the contest written for in the second. That's if Fitzroy can find some breathing space before then. Caderio told to just take a step back as Rogan. You can see the determination from Evangelista. Rogan, Taruso, Evangelista in the way. And Rogan's just gone for the ball, and in the process has caught Evangelista at point blank range. It's happened on a couple of occasions tonight, and that might be the final knockings of the first half. Castro might want to jostle forward for a long ball, but we're not going to see that happen. Half-time sounds in Thomastown on the first match of round one, where Fitzroy lead by a goal. The score's 2-1. We'll return following this short half-time break. So something that is not usually an occurrence, but it will be the ladder for tonight. We're going to look towards the comments for that first half throughout the half-time break. And suss out what exactly those watching on YouTube or WeFroth are thinking about throughout that first half of futsal action. Jakub believes that Pasco Vale are going to give Fitzroy some trouble. The yellow kits worn by Fitzroy are rather quote-unquote blinding. I've just had a quick squiz through these comments, and I believe much of them are focusing on these kits worn by Fitzroy. No provocative passes landing yet tonight, but I'm sure they will soon. As we have a squeeze through here, you wonder if Fitzroy, or Ultra Football rather, are reusing the spare 2013 Victory away kits. Well, they're rather iconic. Certainly a much more fruitful era of the A-League. A lot of classic moments provided in those fluoro Victory kits. I believe Oleana, the fruit sponsor, with that sort of blue background, the white writing, that sort of egg yolk also featured on there. If we're thinking the same thing, the KFC sponsor also. Not sponsored by Victory, just reminiscing on the good old A-League days. Archie Thompson scored some brilliant goals in that kit. Had some moments. Josh Fusco has been shouted out. So big up our media man. Someone let the Jack Robinson would like those in the building sites to just let them know that they've left some of their high-vis futsal loss. I'll go on a limb and say I rather enjoy the kits worn by Fitzroy. I think they're rather nice. Simplistic, but sometimes there's beauty in things that are simple. And if the proper ankle breaker move is what was being said about the flashiness of Scotty Rogan, there was one instance right in front of the now interchange for Fitzroy where he'd sent two United players to the ground, and well, Sakurada's ankle isn't exactly broken, but certainly might have been rather twisted following that awkward way he had to jostle to keep around with Rogan. But that halftime comment section investigation was rather entertaining. He might look to introduce it upon more occasions throughout the season. That's, of course, if Josh Fusco will grant it. On the outside are United, but they're looking in. Only trail by a goal as we're back underway for the second half. There's Newen on the court in that defensive role, trying to dictate the play. Kevin Lamb. Haven't really seen Mr. Clutch come to life yet. Perhaps feeling the pressure of making that great first impression. As Rogan, Lamb at the back post, but he's got many United shirts in his way. Russo tried to cover out the angle. Castro dispossessed as Rogan tries to go around the lumber of Castro, gets it to Russo, where Angelatos might have been. As the build-up continues in the Series Futsal Arena here in Thomastown. Upon looking back on the Series Futsal YouTube channel, you'll see how much the landscape of both venues have changed throughout the years. All to the credit of Peter Parthamos, who's certainly nurtured this competition like his own child, you could say. I'm sure he's esteemed to have all three of his children be represented by clubs in both men's and women's competitions. Speaking of Elias Parthamos, not exactly sure about his whereabouts this evening. Of course, in the Clubs Cup final was nursing an injury which resulted in no appearance being made. As Rogan to Lamb, Newen was the option. Castro goes through his gates and opens up for Castro. And Newen was a bit uncertain. Abdallah, the reason why he's got many accolades to his name, interpreted that situation as best as he could and prevented what could have been an own goal. As Rogan just bobbles up, has a bounce off his head, but also confronting Di Moraes, the veteran, just understanding the task ahead. Rogan trying to go around Castro. Angelatos in possession, thought he'd let fly from range and earns a corner. Castro for Western has certainly allowed them to start brightly. And he's claiming he wants this one whipped in. Skopolidis just couldn't get it around Newen. Just having to go back to his keeper. That's happened a couple times from United tonight, where they've had no real pressure on them, but they've seemed to have just passed the ball out of play. Newen. Rogan, Allen at the back post. Lamb, the reverse option, picks out Allen. Now back to the captain. Patient are the Tigers, but they cough it up on that occasion. Di Moraes. Castro using his body to keep Rogan at bay. Goes through his legs. They go for a tango, which Michael Sitzaris believes was troublesome. That's going to be quite the matchup between those two if they're both on defensive and respective duties. Quite the individual battle that could frame out to be. Allen. Castro trying to cause him some problems. Lamb just couldn't touch it towards Rogan, and Galatos there. Here's Newen. Rogan thought he'd try his luck. It feels as if the moment it left his boot, he hadn't really caught that exactly the way he intended. Somewhat bobbled up for him. As Angelatos winding up and trying to wheel away to keep it alive. It's a bit too deep, the pass, or the chip idea from Dimaraes, which just eventuated in rolling away from his target. Here's Newen, shifting onto his left, Robotis. Fortunate was you. He was dealing with something right in front of him, and it could have just unkindly rolled into his net as Rogan has a laugh with Robotis. Again, these Fitzroy players they have such a great understanding, but in the process of it, seem to just throw the kitchen sink at each other. As Sakurada's back on, and he's backtracking now as Rogan is confronted by Skopolides and awarded the foul. Clean slate, of course, for United in the second half. We're building up the foul tally in the first. They've got 2 within the first 5 odd minutes in this second half. You can see the United bench just having a casual conversation with Scott Rogan before he dispatches. As the flash, as it shot to right towards the lower region of Hugh's goal. Gets it back. Here's Allen. Goes around Dimaraes. Takes a stutter. Finds Rogan. They're building. Robotis not in the right place. It's great to see that Sakurada is back up and wheeling away. He's the long option there. Great pass from Aaron New. Sakurada nearly carving something from it. There's Newen. Here's Rogan. Allen wants to venture. As does Dimaraes, who takes a heavy touch and couldn't roll back the years to keep the ball rolling forward beyond Allen. Rogan with Sakurada. 2 very quick players in their own right, and they've carved out a chance. Skopolides with the final touch just to get of the way. So Fitzroy looking to perhaps start their escape, if you will, and find some breathing room between themselves and their opponents. As Russo ignited, had his shot blocked. Russo trying to get around Sakurada. Rogan. Is there a provocative pass? He fizzes across the face. Sakurada does extremely well to tango with Rogan, who gets it back somehow. Allen has a court behind him. Angelatos nipping at the heels. Skopolides colliding with Abdallah. Mazen Abdallah just being brushed by Skopolides, who found it rather humorous. The Mad Cat had lost perhaps one of his 9 lives. Fitzroy very deep. Rogan trying to carve the angle. Acrobatic Aaron New. Diving the goalkeeper to palm it away. Such a sight to see when he takes flight to make a save. So nimble. It's the new shot stopper for United. Rogan Tries to find Russo, real confined space. Scopolides just equal to the Rogan task. Allen, Sakurada, his counterpart, and he blocks. So United content with shutting up shop. They're really making things confined for Fitzroy, who still have the lead, however. United looking to threaten on the counter. Angelatos just couldn't step beyond Russo. But there's some real intent when they are to come forward. Perhaps at the moment just tucking their arms in, United. And trying to find that counter punch as Dimodaeus thought he'd let fly, and it was a bit awkward for Abdallah. The height was comfortable. It's Rogan. Extremely intelligent. Evangelista just making way. Replacing rather Dimodaeus. As Allen. Sakurada staring down the barrel of Josh Allen, who yet again dispatches to no avail. That's been much of the narrative in this second half for the Tigers. They've had possession, they've had attacking territory. They just haven't really seemed to carve out a clear-cut chance. Evangelista, a bit handsy with Rogan. If that's the correct terminology. Had much of his shirt, which allows the captain to have a free kick. Here's Allen. Not offered the inside option. Trying to get round Sakurada. He has his sights towards goal. Russo deep option. Robotis, he was the last goal scorer in this competition to put his side in front. Rogan. Robotis turning, flirting with Scopolides. Rogan rekindles and finds Russo. Ever so patient are the Tigers until they roar. Evangelista back healing to Scopolides. He works it back to the keeper. He goes long, and Della lost to claim, but can't find Allen. So the onus perhaps still with United, considering they've kept the scoreboard rather level until Russo rather got beyond Evangelista. Also thought he earned a corner. But it will be Aaron Hughes' ball. He's kept his side in this competition as Rogan has it bounce out for a corner off his head. Is this the moment perhaps for United? Evangelista had shape, Ewan in front of it. Angelatos' corner. Scoot pass towards Scopolides, who really had to try something to keep it alive, and what he tried eventuated in the ball going out of play. Ball's rolling. That's a cheap giveaway from Cosi Russo, who was eager to get things moving. Discussed the intent from Fitzroy. Over-eager, you might argue, on some occasions where they simply rush. Evangelista. Scopolides caught on it, and Cosi Russo ever so decisive in front of goal. Catapults a chance that was in front of him and installs a 2-goal lead for Fitzroy. 3-1 the score on the scoreboard. What else can really be said about Cosi Russo and the Fitzroy outfit? They're inevitable. It's the harsh truth behind it. United, it's their sole mistake they've made in this contest. And 9 times out of 10, with any other team in the competition, it doesn't usually eventuate in a goal. But with the Tigers, you simply cannot hold your breath for a moment. If they're given that opportunity, you can put the house on it. They're going to take it with all they can. Legs, arms, hands, you name it. As Hume is intelligent with his hands, not so intelligent with his feet, and Rogan has it cleared off the line. Ragnar Mererio, another player with his maiden appearance for United. That's one way to introduce yourself. Stems the bleeding for now, keeps that Rogan chip off the line at the death. It's Castro has Lamb spin away, but the two former Western City alumni just colliding there. You, I'm sure, knows Kevin Lamb like the back of his hand. As Mererio just getting a bit overzealous. Perhaps signs of frustration on display from United, who feel like they deserve more from this contest. Of course, they had hit the bar twice. Castro and Sakurada, the two in which had culminated those moves. But now Scott Rogan has a chance. With Castro as the wall, he rolls towards Nguyen, gets it back. Sakurada keeping Russo away from it momentarily. Russo just shifting away as Sakurada uses his body. But you can hear Sakurada trying to enforce the height of Castro to make a more forwards run, to provide that aerial option in the box. As Allen, Evangelista, does well to intervene. 2 minutes away from the stoppage era of the contests, as that's ended up going in. Aaron Hughes caught. Scott Rogan is there, and in a flash, this contest has run away from Western United. Castro indecisive, as was Aaron Hughes. Was forced to come off his line. It fell ever so kindly for Scott Rogan, who grabs his first of the season, and the Tigers' fourth. And you feel as if the champions, who've yet again come into the season as favourites for the competition, they're looking to just make yet another statement. As Allen's hit his hand, he knows straight away, no real protest. And Della and Allen just not clearing their lines adequately. Timoraes reintroduced. Castro behind the free kick, still time to have his debut moment, and it could be from this free kick opportunity, which is saved by Abdallah de Moraes over the bar. Allen absorbing the two-man press. Rogan. See Nguyen, deep part of the court, wants that long ball over the top. United with a real high press. Lamb nearly weaved beyond Timoraes. Here's you. Threads a needle, Timoraes. You wonder the thoughts of Milton Sakos and the More Than Blues side of watching on, if they are watching on, exactly how to combat this inevitable issue of the Tigers, in whom simply can't be tamed. Not to the discredit of United, of course. They were performing rather well in the first half, have made claims to perhaps hit the front on occasion. But Fitzroy, in their usual customary selves, have weathered whatever threat has been thrown in front of them and managed to make do with what they can, as they've made United make mistakes. They've pounced upon the opportunities. Haven't exactly been clear-cut in abundance. With the full onus on the champions to perhaps go again in Season 2. Time will tell, of course. Perhaps an ominous warning sign, given this performance where, yet again, you do question whether they have played at their fullest capacity. But United have issued a timeout. There's still time perhaps for them to turn the tide. And we might suss if we can head to a short intermission. So we will. We'll cross to a short commercial break following this timeout initiated by Western United.
When you win the European Championship, you need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
Grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a Benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive. But look at me now.
And we are back. 4 minutes left for United to conjure up what could be the crazy. Aaron Hughes come off his line. He's the fifth man. And he flicks towards the new signing of Marerio. No keeper to speak of, as Lamb tried going over the top. It stays on 3:59. But you feel as if Fitzroy aren't looking to keep the scoreboard stuck at 4-1. Give and go between Allen and Rogan. Allen zeroes in. Robotis is there. And all he had to do was apply the finish, which he set sailing upon. Set sail well and truly to nearly the commissioner's room. As you give and go with Di Mareas. Goes wide to Castro. And Furak yet again just not able to trap it the way he wants. But there with Fitzroy again. It's opening up for them. United just holding their breath. They're still looking to get one back. Castro turning, but losing his footing. Also, Allen. Rogan to Robotis. Well-oiled machine. This Fitzroy team. Robotis orchestrating. One-touch passes. He makes his way towards the back post. Rogan filling that pivot role. Just so calm, calculated and composed. 5 fouls. Dare I say, has been the call. Certainly 4, with the 5 updating now. So, yet again, that could certainly grant them their 5th. Of course, if United aren't 2-0 or to keep themselves foulless as it progresses on, there certainly hasn't been much they could do this evening. Rogan just with an abundance of time finds Newen. United trying to just not concede perhaps and try find one of their own. They know the result's not going to go their way. Don't want to cough up any more goals, of course, for the score difference tally, which all has its importance throughout the season. Skopolidis holds the high press and backtracks well, but now Rosso. Ball rolling beyond Angelatos momentarily with 2:11 left on the clock. Newen happy to go back to Rogan. As Rogan gets it to Rosso. Time ticking down to this contest. It's Hume FC against the Western City. Kicking off at 8:15 for the second fixture of round 1, concluding the night with Altona Knights against Clubs Cup winners of the Moreland Blues. Keen to see Pascoe Vale make their return to Series Futsal. They play at 9:30 next week against Western City, with United taking on the Clubs Cup winners of Moreland, in whom in their last league game had upset them, which effectively awarded Fitzroy their 10th. Pascoe Vale have also been busy in the transfer window. Arturo Diaz from Fitzroy making a move to Pascoe Vale. Certainly excited to see their presence in the competition. The Classico scheduled to be on the 30th of August in round 7. So save the date for when the two arguably strongest teams in the state of Victoria collide on the Series Futsal court. Those matches basically determining the title. And of course, if there's no early flurry from one of the remaining combatants of the competition. It was City last season who made that bright start, somewhat fizzled out, but managed to finish in the top end of the table. It was Hume who started rather bleakly, but were able to really turn things around as Dimodeus had to spin there as they looked for a consolation perhaps. Evangelista had it towards Angelatos. Was on his wrong foot. Abdallah really piffed that ball towards Rosso, who kept it alive with 1 foot. You can see Gabriel Zabayos embracing his players. He knows the job is done. 14 seconds remain, scores 4-1. United kick things off on the back foot as Rogan Tried to loft beyond the Aaron New, who wasn't in his goal. Abdallah thought he might wind up from distance. And that's going to be all she wrote. The champions, always decisive, always ominous. And they've stamped their mark on the second season of 2024 with a victory against Western United. Rogan Robotis on the goal scoring party. Aaron New upon his debut was valiant, as were the efforts of Sakurada and Castro. So we're going to wrap up for the first fixture of round one. Full's time scores: Fitzroy 4, Western United 1.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player, because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that. We know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different.
Scott Rogan, quite the start for the champions. They made it difficult in the first half. How did your side weather that storm brewed by Western?
Yeah, they came out pretty tough. I think we did great chances early at the start, but then defensively we were a bit too casual and gave away a goal as soon as we scored one. Yeah, we just kind of had to get back to basics and start doing the stuff that we train and play every single week, and eventually it just kind of works out for us.
Some fresh blood upon the Tigers and their playing regime. Were you impressed by the debuts?
Yeah, we have a few new signings. I think Kevin was the only one who was here tonight, and I know he's played junior nationals with us before, and he's close friends with all of us. So I think he fit right in. He's got to get used to the way we play, and it's not easy for anyone joining a team, especially a step up, I reckon, from where he was before. But all of us, we signed him for a reason, and he's good enough to fit in. So now it's just about making him comfortable.
Well, certainly comfortable were your Tigers on the court this evening. We thank you for your time and all the best in the weeks ahead.
Thank you.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player, because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that. We know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
I grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. What a bowl. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have space. They have to enjoy the game. Finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No? They know that, we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
I grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. What a bowl. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
Grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'll be in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players.
Hume FC look to kickstart their season against Western City, with both sides looking to make their impact early on in the competition. Quite the shake-up in which Western City have experienced. Noel Sorma comes across from Carlton Heart, who were succumbed to relegation in Season 1. They're back in the championship. But Noel Sorma and some of those Carlton company back on the Serious Futsal court in the new Western City colours. You see the way Hume have gone about their transfer window. Things somewhat remain in the status quo. the new signing of Kursat Guler, the number 99, leading the line for the Black Army. He's in the starting lineup on the court, as is Mohamed Temel, the captain, Rezit Kouoglu, Michael Klanaris, and Abdullah Rahman Balla, all taking to court. As Douglas Lindberg, with his first ever City interaction, he's in goal, replacing Aaron New, who's just taken to court for United, adding more flavour to that Western derby. Nam Pham remains on the court. Justin Lee, joined by Ibrahim Kenna. And Andy Trinners very early on with the Black Army, very close to finding their first. What would have been a debut goal for Gula. Intense start from the Black Army. As Gula back to Klanaris. He's found some space. Michael Klanaris near post. It's going to be a free kick. He was impeded by Nam Pham. Very promising start for Mo Tanker's side. Repping the Hume gear with the blue jeans on the touchline. Full benches for both sides. Dharma Georgie also in that managerial position. As Temel rolls it in for 1-0. Such pace upon the shot. And the captain leads by example and grabs the Black Army's first of the second season in 2024 with a plum right in the bottom corner. Not the start Douglas Lindberg would have expected nor wanted. There was simply nothing he could do. The complexion of keepers certainly changing. Aaron New, the more nimble and shorter option, if you will. Lindberg, the more tall and rather strong type. Perhaps the Black Army are aware that his nimbility might be an issue, as the man in the right place to stop that one was Bella. At the expense of a corner. Lee back to Pham. Caught on it momentarily, the keeper. Lindberg just nearly gifting Gula. Could have been a chance on goal. From Carlton also coming across to Western City. Matthew Cruz. And Trevor Sesmakula. So Noel Sorma having his influence. Quite the clearance expedition, if you will, of players, Western City. As Nam Pham went for a spin. Still has some of that peroxide left in his hair, which lit up the court in the back end of the first season. But now Kenna, I know what he's capable of, and he has a chance. You can see Ballage organising the wall of Klanaris and Temel. As Kenna looks to strike, it went low. And Kuglu's clearance hits the roof. As Lockman Ramadan enters the court. Quite the physical presence in his own right. Kenna. Happy to venture back to Lee. Pham. Heavy press from Ramadan. And Kuruglu just not able to, or does well rather, to evade that physicality on display from Kenna, as City going impatient and impetus and finding their equaliser. Kawuglu. Ramadan just wanted to not play the ball to Kawuglu, took it upon himself, and in doing so, coughed up possession. Julian Vu with his bib off wants to get involved. Still no Yubiri Chitchek, nursing his injury concern. Kenta Sasaki not also featured on the team sheet presented. As Klanaris been busy early on, trying to catch Lindbergh out of his near post. Temel. Kawuglu scooping towards Ramadan. You can see Colosimo just jostling, ready to enter the fray himself. As Lee had it roll beyond him. Trin tried to just get his wits about the ball. Now Lee. Pham couldn't go through the gates of Klanaris. He goes into Kenner. And kept going. And so far, either side really not able to showcase their intent in possession. It's been changing hands frequently. Temel and Klanaris look to have some interplay between themselves to change that ladder. Klanaris got his shot away, which results in a corner. More promising perhaps. Lindbergh thought it might have been his ball. Corner was taken quickly, keeper gets low. Klanaris just cleaning up. Hadn't hit Vu's hand, he gets the ball out wide to Cruz. Pham had to stand tall against the big fella. That of Ramadan, and the David and Goliath individual battle just collide, resulting in a foul, and feels as if Pham might have just had his mouth impeded there. Inadvertently, of course. But Vu, behind the free kick, gets it to Cruz. Equaliser on the cards, perhaps. And Bella deflects away with his feet. Now Vu, intent from City. Pham. Heavy press from Mert Tuna, his first involvement as Vu let fly. And you notice how Dharma Georgie this evening has opted to dress the same way in which the ever so stylish Noel Sorma does. Both coaches in suits. It's certainly something in which should be implemented and compulsory upon all the coaching contingent within the competition. It's something we like to see. Exerts professionalism. It's been on display throughout both Dharma Georgie and Noel Sorma's coaching careers respectively. Really symbolised in the way they present themselves. A nice touch, as Pham had one similar. Cruz. Vu. Back to the keeper, Lindbergh. Gift for Tuna, perhaps. He took too much time on it. You would have thought there for Tuna the instinct would have been to just let fly towards goal. For some reason, he wanted to settle in possession. As Colosimo led a heavy press, resulting in a clearance. City appearing to be a little bit uncomfortable in possession as Bala opts to gift it back to the side currently under the pump. As Cruz had a fine idea for Vu. Now Ramadan. Ball rolling, getting his shot away. Evasive. Here's the poacher. Just keeping Lindbergh honest. Pham. Cruz, back to Pham. Nice chip pass forward for Ramon Pereira. Now Ramadan takes over. Wants to go himself. Thought about winding up for a shot. It's just the one, let's say, deficiency in Lukman Ramadan's game where he likes taking that extra touch. By the time he winds up for the effort, the ball's evaded him. Now Pereira does well to hold up the play. Pham. Vu back towards Pham out of real estate. Temple, very patient. Colosimo just making some inroads on the wing and gets his shot away where Tuna was a step away from making it 2 right at the back post. He wasn't far away at all from just having the right ricochet onto the pass, which was a shot in truth. Could have been either. Soma asking for reinforcements. And Pham just forced to clear his lines creatively. So the Black Army starting to build. Commentators curse. The ball was rolling upon Colosimo's dispatchment. So now it's for City to resettle in possession. Temel, the sole goal scorer in the contest so far, threading the needle to find Gula. As the captain commits the foul on Vu. Real fast change of hands in possession. Showcased in both sides tonight as Cruz wanted to find Ramon Pereira. Was eager to get things moving. Vu. Spinning away, Tuna. Pereira somehow keeps it alive. Cruz on the edge of the box. Vu. Can't get the pass away. Now Gula. And you feel as if it's going to be called back. It has been. Now Temel thought about setting his sights towards goal. The wall doing its job. Gula trying to turn from 2. Pham colliding with Tuna. It will be Mert's ball. As Temel had shape on it, he was adamant. And it's come off of Pereira. As he ushers the ball just out of play. Balla, scooping ball. Pham lofty. Gets it back. Trying to skip round Gula. Cruz opens up. $1 million Max Cruz nearly on the end of what would have been a debut goal. So that's going to evade both Colosimo and Gula, who's lurking around the penalty area. Pham just providing that pressure which forces the turnover in play momentarily. Hume haven't exactly tested the keeper since their maiden goal. That's a great ball from Lindberg. Pereira somewhat kept it alive. Vu does the same. Balla goes for a slide. Play remains with City. Sitsaris enforcing the message to ensure that the players remain in their position following the side ball possession, which City have. Pereira caught on it. Gets it back. Exchanging rather with Gula. Pereira having a glance. Does very well. Risky option going across the face of goal. And Lindberg had nobody home going forward. Pham and Tuna come together. Vu is trying to provide some pressure. Now Colosimo happy to settle with Temel. Gula on towards Tuna. That's where they lack the touch. Limburg throwing it into that mixing area. Bella does well, but gives it right back to Pham. He has options. Ball roll around the captain. But not round for the finish, and that's prompted Mo Tanker to get up off his feet. Incensed by the lack of defensive awareness, perhaps. Hasn't been very vocal tonight, Matanka, but he certainly was there. As City are building, Pham went round Kawuglu momentarily. Now Temel leading the charge, dispatching towards goal, and Limburg's in the way. This contest opening up nicely. Tuna's corner. Froth mop initiated on the far end of the court. On the right of Bella. Meanwhile, at the other end, it's a corner, which Tuna stands firmly behind. Kawuglu and Temel are deep options. Gula more central. As Temel finds the net yet again. The low finish proving to be the thorn in the side of Limburg and Western City. Piercing goal. Tuna let it roll. Kawuglu go out the way, and the angle opened up in which the captain claimed his double from. And that's called for a Western City timeout. Don't you move from the WeFroth or YouTube app. We'll be back shortly.
If you know what I mean, I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a benzo. Ready to I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player, because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think.
So 2-0 the score, the Black Army in charge. Mohammed Temel leading by example, has two. Both of similar variety, just on opposite ends. One to the left, one to the right, both low, both incredibly decisive. City were making claims to get themselves on level terms, and Pham ever so close. But that is brilliant from Rezat Kawuglu, and it's the man on his debut, Kursat Gula, who goes bang, and things go from bad to worse for Western City, with the Black Army commanding it now. Brilliant goal. The chip pass from Kawuglu, putting it all on a silver platter for Gula, who fired it hard and low. Ball just rippled upon the net. And it's 3-0, and they have full intent now, Hume. They venture forward yet again. City look like they're up for the 10 count. They're dazed. Clanaris' corner. Temel this time trying a more lofted attempt, which sails beyond Limburg's goal. All the efforts tonight in which Hume have scored have been all hit with real conviction. Limburg has got quite the goal-keeping resume, in which at the moment hasn't exactly been put to use, given the efforts from the Hume players. have been absolutely incredible as Clenara slides. Noel Soma and Diama Georgie just a bit bewildered to not find how that wasn't a foul. Rather the impressive challenge from Clenaris. So we're into the final last 4.5 minutes of this first half. City, the full impetus on them to try turn the tide. Lee in possession. Now Trin. Give and go between the two. And they've worked themselves into a bit of a jam. Clenaris. Kawuglu. Ramadan. Fine hold up play. Here's Temel. Takes a ball roll. Gets his shot away. Ramadan gets inadvertently in the way. Latching onto a pass. Nearly was Ses Makula, who hasn't come to life yet. Kawuglu. Temel. Clenaris the option. Kenna and Ses Makula. Both there to greet Clenaris. As Temel has the ball bounce away. Temel yet again trying his luck. As for Douglas Lindbergh, has had stints with Pascoe Vale. But is playing tenure as City looked to venture yet again, and it was Ramadan on defensive duty. Can City break their own deadlock before half-time? We're on the cusp of it now, with time becoming an issue for them to do so. That was bouncing cruelly, which Lindbergh got across and parried away. Clenaris. Kenna had no clue where the ball had gone following his intervention. Minute 45 left. Clenaris, yet again, was Kenna blocking. Temel. Fine give and go between himself and Clenaris. Kawuglu. Ramadan tried to flick on. Nobody home. Now Trin. Try that provocative pass towards Lee. Ramadan in possession. Takes a step over the big man. But Kenna on defensive duties does well. Does extremely well in that scenario to keep the ball alive. And possession with City. Lee finds Ses Makula. Kenna. That's more promising from City. Now Trin just couldn't open the door for Ses Makula to enter. As Mo Tanker, right on the cusp of half-time, wants to call for a timeout, which will allow for a short intermission to be forthcoming.
So you have to work hard every day. It's detail. It's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a benzo.
So, Motanka called for the timeout. 50-odd seconds left. Sesmakula looking to wind up. Gets around Temel. That's more like it from Trevor. Tantalising he was in that scenario. Which forced Bala into a save. Patient now, our City. They want to use the full length of the clock to carve out this chance. Sesmakula, that effort, not so savoury. Well over Butler's bar. Half time, not far away at all. Hume have certainly showcased how in the recent months have really turned the tide on their club and gotten the performances going their way, which at one stage this year looked as if they were going to succumb to relegation, having gone the first 5 games of the season without a win. But they've hit 3 against Western City, a newly fitted Western City, have all the work to do in the second half. So we'll cross to another half-time ad break, both on the WeFroth and YouTube application, where Hume City in this contest are firmly in front by 3 goals. We'll cross back shortly.
Union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
Grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a benzo. I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive. But look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. the futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most.
Underway for the second half. The Black Army in firm control. But can City turn the tide? Kenner keeping Bella honest. You feel like you'll need a lot more of that from Ibrahim Kenner and Trevor Sesmakula. Nam Pham also getting in on the party. No Aaron Fung to speak of this occasion for Western City. As meanwhile at the other end, the respective number 10 of Ramadan sliding. But Temel had the final touch. But in the build-up, there might have been something which Cyrus just spotted. And for Nam Pham to have a free kick. Ramadan and Clanaris in the wall. Pham might have a pocket to let fly towards. He rolls a reverse option where Sesmakula was, but his effort was denied. Ball might have been rolling. It indeed was rolling. Julian Vu will have another bite at the cherry. Pham trying to go around Kawuglu. Vu really stretching to keep it. Clanaris nearly in front of it. Sesmakula on it. Kenner gets around his marker well. Kawuglu always seems to be that step in front. Not sure how he manufactures it, but he's always where he needs to be. As Pham thought he was dispossessed. Gets it back and lets it roll towards Kenner. Pham might have not have realised the option he had in front of him in going solo. There was a real scope for that to be forthcoming. As Pham nearly caught on it by Gula. He keeps going. He slides to try and keep it alive. Switching pass. Might have been there for Sesmakula from Pham. Too much gravy on it, one would say. Mustard would be Han Solo. Han Tran, known as Han Solo, of course. Certainly has her work cut out with the Wednesday night women's series calling. was joined by Josh Fusco last Wednesday. Josh Fusco, certainly someone we want to see more involved in the commentators' plethora. Try get him involved in the final fixture of round 1, where the Altona Knights look to take on the Moreland Blues. As Gula got possession back and thought, you know what, don't want it anymore. Vu trying to go around Klanaris, who bullies Vu off the ball and sets his sights towards goal, where the low effort just rolls beyond Lindbergh and out of play. Kawuglu heads it back on towards Gula. Fam in the way. Kawuglu had it cracking in the crossfires. Was Kursat Gula. As Kenner, nothing really forthcoming aside from that leading run from Sesmakula. As Fam goes for a slide. Might have been a foul there, in which it won't be a foul, but it will be a corner. $1 Million Matt Cruz on the court. That finish only worth £1. As Colosimo gets it back from Temel. Tuna thought about trying his luck from distance. Diving the keeper, Lindbergh. Attentive for the corner, gets low. And massive strength on display from Gula. Body's bouncing off him in order to get his shot away. So Lindbergh has his pass blocked by Tuna. He slides to keep Vu's effort at bay. Now Fam. Pereira wants to skip. Fam does the same thing. Carves out the chance, Fam. Balla does well to slide. Abdullah Ranman Balla trimmed his air, not his keeping ability. As Matt Cruz tries having some say upon the contest. But the Black Army showcasing their brilliance. A team goal capped off by Tuna. 3-man weave in attack. The keeper committed. Colosimo went across the face of goal. And Tuna barely had to blink to make it 4. The mounts are becoming really improbable now for City. But Cruz was looking for a quick response, which Balla had to palm away. Hasn't really been thrown into a massive save yet. Everything's been rather routine for him. As Vu carves out the angle. Comfortable height for Balla, who scoops up and over towards Gula. And they have that within their arsenal. Hume, where they can look towards their big men, dare I say big men. Both Ramadan and Gula providing that lofty option in attack. As Gula try to spin. Cruz does well. The incisive pass was the option from Vu to open space up for Jose Ramon Pereira. With it ricocheting out for a corner. Vu's efforts hit the bar. As bounced on the line, Sitsaris points to the spot to declare it's been a goal. That's emphatic from the number 7. Balla, there was simply nothing he could do. It bounced out of the goal, but on its way it bounced over the line. Some way to open the account for the new manager, Noel Soma. Julian Vu with a fine effort. That's clawed one back for Western City. We're in need of a moment like that. There could be another one. That's a big slide, both Pereira and Temel. Can that perhaps be the momentum shifter they're in desperate requirement of? You see Trin just getting very overzealous. He wants possession and earns the side ball. Pereira. Back to Lindbergh. He thought about having a crack, and rightfully so. Temel. Tuna Scoopy. Lookman Ramadan. Thought about the back heel. Pham carving out the space. Trin and Temel tussling for possession. Still being within City's jurisdiction. Trin trying to scoop it around Ramadan. With him somehow getting in possession. It's all a little bit messy. It's hit Pereira's hand. A lot to dissect in that play. It was bobbling everywhere, the ball. Matt Cruz just wanted to go back to his keeper, and in doing so, Pereira couldn't trap it. Yes, City on the receiving end of a free kick, which Temel stands behind. He's chasing a hat-trick. He might look to wind up here. Lets it roll for Tuna, who went along the ground yet again. It's been a majority of the attempts tonight for the Black Army. As Pereira does well to hold up the play. Pham. Back towards Pereira. Cruz, that wide option through the gates was Trin. Now the $1 million man, Matt Cruz. Had his effort ricochet following the Tuna intervention. Scooping was Ramadan. Colosimo turning. Tuna's in the crossfires. He hits the deck. And Colosimo rekindles well. Hits Pham's hand. Inadvertently perhaps. It gets a bit tangled in that part of the court where Colosimo couldn't trap. Heaps going on at the moment. That effort from Andy. Trin just not being caught well at all. He thought it might have hit a body on its way in. It's completely bobbled off his foot. As Ramadan tries to get it round Pham. Uses his strength to keep it away from Trin. Or force Trin rather out of play. Mert Tuna. Mohamed Temel. Fine turn from the big man. He's at the bar. Ramadan certainly had his sights for goal. Build-up play yet again from Mohamed Tanker's side. Just proving to be that touch of class ahead of City on this occasion. As Cruz nearly picking out Trin in that wide area. Tuna in possession, earns a corner. Fine stop from the keeper, but the ball might have been out of play. Perhaps getting aware of, or more aware rather, of those grounded efforts on goal. He's been receiving tonight, Lindbergh. Free kick to mid-ladder of what the official hasn't liked in that scenario for Hume. As it's ricocheted nicely for Sess Makula, who puts on the plate for Trin, and he gobbles up the chance. And they only trail by 2 now, City. You must cast your mind back to when Noel Soma on the Carlton Hart bench was on the receiving end of a City comeback, where their former clutch player of Kevin Lamb was in on goal at that decisive moment to put it back on level terms to make it 4-4. Are we perhaps seeing the same thing occur here, but for City with Noel Soma on their touchline? Time will tell. They've turned the tide around somewhat, you could say. Hume haven't extended their lead. They've had chances to, with the bar intervening. But City, on the scoreboard that is, are making claims. That's well done from Kenna. Sesmakula try to flick. He might get the rub of the asphalt. Gula took no chances and cleared towards the crowd. That's built up nicely. So Saras just having a bit of a discussion with Trevor Sesmakula. Not exactly sure what they might be about. But he's back in possession. Sesmakula. Hit the shoulder, deemed the referee. And sliding on the asphalt was Gula. Try to keep that move alive. Here's Kenna. Sesmakula, the two Carlton boys combined for City. Clanaris had to slide. He remains on the deck. I think it was Wiley who was going for the slide. Slow to get up. He's back up on his feet. So City, with 8 minutes and 32 minutes and 32 seconds, not minutes rather, are making calls. They have the momentum now, but you feel as if Black Army do find a goal of their own, could certainly stump the steam they're building. Great ball in, which has been inadvertently turned in by Kenna. Tuna. There's that moment that seeps the momentum, perhaps for City. Mert Tuna providing that confusing cross, which was well constructed, but it put Kenna into 10 different minds. And he puts the ball inadvertently into Lindbergh's goal. And that just stunts the comeback for the meantime. For City, they're starting to grow. Can Sesmakula turn it around? He's turning beyond Kuaglu. Has a roll for Trin. Balla in the way yet again. Namfam. Lee backtracking. Tuna progressing forward. Kenna does well. Has it rolled towards Fam. Temel in the way. Card awarded to Tuna in the build-up. Free kick City. Ever so close. Justin Lee from the free kick. Wasn't exactly too far away. Has that struck Mert Tuna's hand? You best believe it has. And that's 5 fouls for the Black Army. They'll have to tread water lightly. If City are to find something here, it certainly sets us up for a tantalising 5 final minutes. It's that stoppage time of the contest. Bella practically joined the wall. Sesmakula. Trin also lurking. Kenna takes the advantage. 2-man press he has to deal with. Does well. Here's Sesmakula. How did Kenna get out of that pocket? We'll never know. As Kawuglu. Has that gone over the line? What's he done there? Lapse of concentration from Reset Kawuglu. Indirect free kick the call. City frankly need something from it. All their players, Hume, behind the goal. The wall all moving. Well, Solma calling for a timeout. Much confusion on the Series Futsal Arena court at the moment. Well, Solma calling for a timeout. His side have 5 fouls, which they could use their advantage. Don't move a muscle. This contest still in the balance.
I'm the one leading the drives. I'm riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. I used to crash in a
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football.
Indirect free Western City. Kenna and Sesmakula behind it. This to make it very interesting. They let it roll. They score from it, City. But Sitsaris believes it's not a goal. They're claiming that Sesmakula hadn't touched it before Kenna rolled it towards Lee. In whom converted. They'll have to do it all over again. And you wonder what they're going to go for this time. Second time of asking. With Kawuglu in the way, City might feel like they've been hard done by there. Had he touched the ball beyond that conversion? Oh, we're not going to know conclusively yet. As Pham gets around, chances there, and City this time take it. Justin Lee with the same finish he scored from. The goal was disallowed. Finds the netter yet again. This time it will stand. Is there a miracle for City? There's still time. And if they are fouled again, we'll have a chance from the spot. Here's that moment yet again. It might have just touched the bottom of Kenna's boot before Sesmakula rolled it on to Lee. But it won't matter now. Lee's found his goal. And they're yet again only 2 behind City. They made it rather hard for themselves, but they won't die wondering. Fine chip pass, nearly opened up the door, was Gula allowing Colosimo in. Colosimo's deep side ball. Across the face towards Kawuglu. 4:35 left. Lee. Fine flick on, Kenna's in here. They slide on the deck. But it's Bella's ball. Brilliant move from City. They're growing at impetus. Great feel to this contest now. Watch that back in slow motion. Brilliant dummy from Sesmakula. Kenna was certainly in. He was clear. It was agonisingly close. He just got caught up in the crossfire, perhaps, with everybody involved. So you might hear the rain being picked up on the Ambience microphone, right near where the camera is set up on that, dare I say, lifeguard stature podium. Reigning goals in this contest, and still in the balance. Big double save from the number 2. That of Abdullah Rahman Balla. There's his brilliance. Certainly on full display there. He really had to make 2 big efforts to save those initial ones. As he throws the ball forward, has it on a platter for Kursat Gula, who flicks it between the gates of Lindbergh in goal. Unfortunate keeping. And that yet again stifles the momentum City were building. Instinctive header from the debutant. How about the keeping from Balla? Arguably, 2-goal turnaround that was there. Denying 2 efforts at his own end, then providing 1 at the other. Has to be in contention for perhaps player of the match, as he was in the crossfires there of Sesma Makula. So City yet again chasing a steeper mountain. The time now also becoming an issue. They might have the makings, but Hume have them where they want them. As Lindbergh doesn't look exactly comfortable with the quick nature of futsal, given his outdoor pedigree, and although being accustomed to the futsal court, in goal it's more that transition and the pace of all the low efforts and ground futsal possession. As Pham Sesma Makula. Trin making some inroads. It's Pham making them dance and pulling the deficit back to 2. Mo Tanker calling for the timeout. And while Solma's side won't die wondering, it's just managed to roll beyond everybody and into the net. 6-4 the score. Still some time left on the clock. We're going to cross to a quick timeout break.
If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that. We know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level. So you have to work hard every day. It's detail. It's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home.
6-4 the score. Our commissioner in attendance. He's strutting along towards Josh Fusco in the back room to have a better glimpse of the contest. 3.5 minutes left in this second fixture of round 1. Still time for anything to really occur. Hume looking to close the door completely. City looking to perhaps bust open a comeback. They've activated the 5th man early on. They're looking to make it work. Open goal to aim at. Pham diving, but decisive is Kursat Gula, who makes City pay. They'll try to be provocative in having the 5th man installed early. Bin Tran was called upon from the bench. Nam Pham has some heroics in keeping out the initial effort over the top from Colosimo. But dare I say, that's the hat-trick for the number 99 upon his first appearance for his new club. So Bin Tran will see out the matching goal. City were valiant. There's still time, of course. But it's fading ever so quickly. As Lee has it worked to Pham. Gets it back. They try to make their way out the defensive area, which Hume have done so well in keeping the space compact within. Pham thought he might try his luck, and in doing so earns a corner. They simply have to find something now, you feel. Pham has it rolling. Gets it back. Picks out Tran, who slides with Balla. Still trying to push the envelope. Pham the last man. Kenna. Trin an option. Kenna once more. Has Lee a wide area. In that wide area, coughs up the plate. Scooping pass from Temple. It's going to remain alive somehow. Gula looks to keep it in. Now Pham puts his head down, gets to work. Runs a Kawuglu. Has his shot bounce? It goes everywhere and finally in. Not pretty, but Ibrahim Kenna will take it upon his debut and keeps the door somewhat alive for City to craft the comeback. A real goal scramble it was. Hume's defensive shape somewhat unravelled. O'Tanker watching nervously on as Pham had half a chance, which he cracked right at the mid-grip of Balla. 2 minutes left. They require 2 City. It would certainly enter the ever-growing folklore within the competition. You might see Turkmen of the Black Army in the stands watching on. Tran does well, wants to go quick, and doing so coughs it up to Temel. Tuna flicks on. Pham gets in the way. Nothing forward really for him. Wants his side to progress forward. Kenna confronted by Kawuglu. Steps inside, they earn a corner. Lee behind it, has it moving. Kenna, Pham. Great ball towards Tran. It's all a bit up in the air at the moment. Pham gets it back. Is there a pocket for him to pick out? Tran. They'll have another chance. Minute 24 left. Pham tries his luck. He was agonisingly close. But no cigar. Hume have not committed a foul yet, but if they do so, concede a penalty. All adding to the drama. Can City find that moment? They've got possession yet again. Treading water are the Black Army. Tran rolls and goes. Pham the last man in possession. Trin and Lee, his wide options. Tuna told to shoot. Trin does very well, takes the game upon himself. Kenna collides with Temel. 55 seconds left. They simply have to find something now. Pham, deep options if he can go round. Bin Tran does well initially. Tuna slides. 42 seconds left. The keeper rolls. Kenna steps inside. Pham. Great reverse pass. Chance is there. And Kenna takes it. We're in for a blockbuster finish. 7-6 to score. 32 seconds left. 5 fouls Hume. They were leading by 4 goals at one stage. Temel gives possession back with 29 seconds left. City will not die wondering. Is there a courageous moment on the cards? They rise to their feet at Series Futsal. Arena and Thomastown, Trad, give and go. Kenner losing his composure where it mattered the most. That moment might live to haunt him. As Balla gifts it right back. 20 seconds left. Mo Tanker standing up. They can't believe it. Namfam. Kenner. Is there a moment? Back to Kenner. Trin making a run. 6, 5. Is there a chance? 3. The clock's going to be the difference. Can either call to just go long, which they've done. Still 2 seconds on the clock. It's City's ball. Or is it? Namfam wants to crowd the keeper. But Cesaris will call time on the contest. It might have ticked over. It had ticked over. It's the anticlimactic ending to it. But Mo Tanker's Hume side will prevail. City really making the move towards the back end of it. So close, yet so far. Final score, Hume 7, Western City 6. That became somewhat an instant classic in its final knockings. As we'll cross to a short commercial break following a post-match player interview.
Finally, you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future, Australia is in the top.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean.
We're joined by Adam from Hume. What a game we witnessed there. Your side were comfortable in the lead. City nearly mounted a comeback. What are your thoughts?
It was a good game. You know, they came out firing on the second half, and it was expected, but we held the lead and took off the 3 points.
You mentioned prior to going live that perhaps the boys tonight were a bit shaky in the way they approached tonight's game. Was there anything in particular you weren't impressed by with Hume?
Yeah, just the structure of the fifth man, something that we are going to work on. Obviously, you know, it's a new season, new start. Get off the shakiness, got to shake off the legs, and we'll take it from there.
It's important to highlight the positives. Korsat Gula in particular in front of goal was ever so decisive. Is that something at the club in which you're looking to instill, given the losses of both Kenta Sasaki, Chichek still on the injured list? Is it important to have that firepower still remain in the mix?
100%. Kershaw, he's been with us since the youth. So when we used to have our youth team running, we still do. He was the upbringing of him, and he just come out today, start shining.
There you go. Well, he certainly came back with a bang, and your side got the job done and kept the 3 points. We wish you luck for your next upcoming fixture. That was Adam of Hume FC.
Thank you.
This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that. We know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level. So you have to work hard every day. It's detail. It's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Like what what a bow. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive. But look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
I grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Like what a bow. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive. But look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. the futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
Grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. Riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player, because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that. We know as coaches that every day it's good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
Grew up with low self-esteem. Was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. Riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
And we're live for the third and final fixture of round one, where it's the Clubs Cup winners, the Moreland Blues, in full force taking on the Altona Knights. To wrap up the show for the evening. Frano Saric, the force field early on, nearly inadvertently putting in his own goal. As for the Blues, it's much of the same. Hayabi is in goal, looking rather fresh with his new trim. The Dr. Andre Caro, Kevin Dos Santos, Adam Cooper and Robson de Souza all taken to the court. As for the Knights, Thomas Natoli, Rodrigo de Faria, Seb Locke and Berat Bezatpour all under the captaincy of Frano Saric. As Natoli bundles with the doctor. Goes round Cooper momentarily. Cooper does well to slide. Wants to venture beyond Bezatpur County, which he says no entry for the meantime. See on the bench for Moreland, Dustizara reappears, as does Henrique Pimenta. Lucas Cassin, their latest signing. As the Knights remained rather not too locked up in their transfer window. Made a couple of odd signings, lost a couple odd players. Sakurada, one of those key absences. One of those major players that ended up leaving the club. But Yanni Pira, Niko Velkovsky is also on the bench, alongside Daniel Aliano, who joins from Carlton Hart. They're looking to introduce our man from the bunker, Josh Fusco, will be joining us on this commentary gantry this evening. Not in the gantry, but he's certainly on the broadcast. Josh, welcome.
The bunker, I like that, the bunker. That's very, very creative, Adam. But yeah, it's great to be back in SFV 2020 4.2. I mean, we've had two great games. Fitzroy and Western United was at first, really competitive. And then the second game, I mean, that's an instant classic and almost finished as a draw. But this game, two great sides. Obviously, Moreland the favourite, probably heavily, but Altona on their day can be very, very tricky to circumvent.
Circumvent?
Oh, you like that
I
one?
Love it. I love it. That is absolutely brilliant. But no, yes, they've certainly without a couple key players who were instrumental to them. It's a shame to no longer see the Sakurada-Bezatpur connection. It's always a sight to behold, especially, it doesn't matter if you're a Altona extravagant fan or not. It's definitely one of the greater sights to see on the court. But you look at this Moreland side, Josh, and you must feel like this will be the season where they finally sort of not break the duck, but get back in the winners column. That is, of course, for the big one.
Well, I mean, you could say break the duck. It's been 4 seasons now. Like, it's been a long time since this Moreland side has taken at home a trophy, and that's just a testament to how good Fitzroy is as a side. I would say if they just need to start out strong in that first game against Fitzroy. Moreland is usually the favourite against basically any team they're going to play this season, except Fitzroy, where we could split it 50-50.
Not much of a betting man myself, Josh, but I'm sure Milton Sakos was watching on when the Tigers had taken apart Western United, in all fairness, in that opening contest this evening. And your mind ponders. They've made the reinforcements. They've kept the players they've needed to keep. That are the Blues. And considering that Fitzroy haven't really changed much of the status quo, certainly set again for another even title battle between the two. Of course, there's still time, and still always the door open for a title charge. Might even make the quick claim that Hume, given their victory this evening, have started off on the right foot. That's simply what it's about, given these two sides, right up until the competition begins to separate. It's all about having that momentum. So we wonder how the competition will fare. As for the Knights this evening, Josh, they've certainly got their work cut out for them. Is there anyone in particular they can utilise their fullest advantage?
Look, I always love Barrage Bezapur. I think he's just so dangerous up top. But it's Freno. Freno, the heart, they're going to beat Freno. Moreland had a tough time. I think it was not the last game they played, but the mid-season clash between Altona and Moreland, where it went down to the wire. I think Moreland came back the last minute or two. They just couldn't beat Freno.
Beating his man there was Barrage Bezatpur, momentarily confronted by the doctor. Be a sight to see, Josh, if both those players who are on different respective teams to come together onto the same. It feels as if they'd really conjure up quite the connection.
Well, look, you have to think it's a 10-man team, but every single player needs to be at their best to win a match. And particularly against a Moreland team like this, you can't just rely on Barrage Bezapour, you can't just rely on Freno. That'll get broken eventually. It needs to be more of a team cohesive effort if you're going to stand a chance against the Juggernauts.
The Juggernauts, of course, out of the Moreland Blues. Full appreciation for their kit featured this evening, which featured Ortiz upon his sole appearance for the club. The futsal icon had that appearance upon the Series Futsal Arena court. Josh was heavily involved, of course, in that Ortiz venture back in the day. That is the same kit that he was wearing, if I'm not mistaken.
That is the same kit, and it's a really nice kit, actually. If we ever do a kit ranking tier list, this must be an S-tier kit. I guarantee it.
S-tier save.
S-tier.
Perhaps there from Frano, who thought he'd just say to Hayabi here, have a look. He hasn't seen much of the ball, the respective goalkeeper in his green kit this evening. If I have to say so myself, it is an absolutely gorgeous sight to behold. This Moreland Blues outfit. Their football symbolised by their playing attire. There's Pimenta, happy to find Cooper. Altona not showcasing any chinks in the armour yet, the Knights, but you notice they're building territory now. Saric coming off his line to cut off that Pimenta option. Now Natoli takes over. Angle gets some skewer.
Wow.
And Cooper has to clear off the line. Adam Cooper, so versatile, so flexible upon that scenario as Bezapour, and his effort deflected for a corner. That all stemmed from Frano Saric, Josh.
He's the cornerstone. Mark my words.
Natoli tried going over the top of Dos Santos. The two embrace. 14 minutes still to play in this first half. Either side yet to really generate a substantial chance. Would you say to the testament of the way they've both shaped up, Josh, or is there an element to this contest perhaps missing?
I think it's still early on. Moreland need to really get into their usual way, and I don't think, considering last season, Moreland are a team that scores a whole bunch, while Altona isn't usually a team that concedes a whole lot of goals, so that could be a part to play in this as well. But I'm sure Moreland will break it soon. Just you have to look at history. What history tells you, Moreland is a team that's very difficult to stop.
Cooper was rampaging and hitting the side of the net as Pimenta. Fine ball to Tizada. Saric might have cleaned up better in the process. Corner is the call from Sitzaris, but Bitwan Packers Cooper had his effort high, not very handsome. So Saric, patient to get proceedings back underway. Launches a cannon towards Natoli, which he couldn't guide. Hayabi to the captain, Dos Santos. Cooper. Give and go with Kevin. Pimenta, more central, chips towards Dos Santos. Gets around Natoli, who blocks the shot upon that sliding challenge. Dos Tizada. Now Cooper, received from Dos Santos. Pimenta in the central area. Dos Tizada, give and go with Cooper. Natoli does well. Dare I say, Aliano does well. Of course, both featuring for Team Europe in the World Series competition, representing Italy. Natoli and Aliano, and nearly at the back post was Dos Tizada. Seblock just nipping at the heels. Dos Santos gliding away. Ahmed just getting involved momentarily. Pimenta's deep cross. Not going to find anybody at the back post. Some changes to the Altona Knights team, Josh. Would you perhaps be familiar with any of them? Looking at what's going on, you see Abdirahman Ahmed, a new signing, Nico Velkoskovsky. If I've pronounced that right, I don't think I have. Velkoskovsky. Not going to bother trying, but there are new signings in this team. Would you be synonymous with them in any way?
I'm going to have to give that a hard no. Not at all. not much of a help there, am I, Adam? Apologies on that one.
We'll have to see how the game fares as they fare, and just see challenge here won by Pimenta, rolls through the doctor, and that is, well, we see many efforts in training from Ante Caro, and that one certainly might have been something he had not envisioned in a million years. Well and truly wide of the mark. Olskovsky is the pronunciation. Apologise if we might have gotten that incorrect initially. As this has been rather the stalemate between these two sides early on, and hasn't really been a sign from either side of something tangible occurring on the attack, but Moreland certainly showcasing that they're here to play. Great ball from Cooper. Dustizada couldn't keep his feet. Peter impeded Dustizada. Josh, you might have had a better view.
Well, we'll check the replay right now. Exactly what happened.
Great
And
ball
what a
from
ball
Cooper.
from Cooper, by the way. That Adam Cooper is not very bad. He's pretty good at futsal. A great ball to Mbasha. The turn, and he's been clipped. It's quite unfortunate. And look, I'm going to give it a 99.98% chance this goes in, Adam.
Here is Cooper.
Oh, wow.
And like Josh has mentioned, the 99.8% chance proving full dividends. He converts from the free kick. That was right out the edge of the area. If you watch that back in time, it happened all so fast. You blinked, you would have missed it. Bang! Right into the top right corner. Cruel, yet concise is Adam Cooper from the spot. Not much anyone can do about that.
As I said, Adam, he's a pretty decent player, this one.
Here he is again. Flick on from the doctor. Nearly proving to be the decisive moment for two. Cassin also introduced, getting his first minutes in Moreland colours. Last time he had any venture related to Moreland, he was representing Western United in the Clubs Cup final, which was rather the debut, rather the performance. Meanwhile here, what's occurred there, Josh?
I'm going to have to watch that back in slow motion, just to take what happened. It happened so quickly.
Harby's come off his line. Peter's gone for the lob.
No, nothing there.
Not sure the protests might have been. Cooper in the way again. Now Cassin to De Souza. And set block just colliding
This game is getting
on a
very
collision
physical.
course.
This game is getting very physical.
This is getting hot.
yeah, that's one way to put it.
Not in any ill malice, of course, but the big boys are colliding like colossuses out there.
Well, I think if Altona is going to get back into this game, they need to keep their head. If they get too aggressive, 3 fouls already, 8 minutes left in this half. They don't want to go 2-0 down against Moreland. I mean, that's a way back.
But yet again, dead ball scenario for Caro. As Cassin fires a low effort, and that was the narrative in the previous game there, Josh, where majority of the efforts Lindbergh was receiving from Hume were all relatively low. But that is a great save from Flannel Saric.
Oh my goodness.
The force field. He was flung at thin air to keep that Cassin effort out.
I mean, we're going to have another look at that. just after this. I mean, that is ridiculous.
Give us a replay, Josh.
Brother, that is some next level keeping right there. Frano Saric.
Earns that nickname for a reason.
D-Man commenting Frano isn't normal. Yeah, this man's an alien. Could you imagine? Sometimes you think to yourself, how many goals would get past if Frano wasn't in net?
It's Cooper. Now Frano wants to go. Has Bezapor. Steps beyond Cardle. Keeps his feet. Finds Defaria. Gets it to Bezapor. He tries to put up a move. And Behrad Bezapor. That is special. Brilliant Behrad Bezapor, the human freight train. With what has to be the goal of the round and early makings for goal of the season. It's simple, yet beautiful.
And you know what? It started with Frano. It started with Frano, the save, and then that flying keeper run over there.
And there he is again. Big save from Frano Saric to deny Dos Santos. Souza came flying in to Souza. This contest has been brilliant from the offset. Kassim with tricky feet. Great ball for the captain. Look at Robson here. Comes colliding in with Defaria. You might have found him in truth, Josh, but well, you could say they're both going for the ball. It's Pitta.
Oh no, Yanni Pira.
That is just utterly spectacular from Behrad Bezapor. It's what more can really be said, Josh.
I mean, that's his move. That's his signature move. It's that it's been dubbed the Upa Dupa, and it works. Really.
Works is an understatement. It
thrives. It thrives.
It's its own living, breathing organism. I feel like in a few years' time, if given the right exposure, you might be seeing that move on a more global stage. Perhaps featured in electronic renditions of futsal or football. Might have to give EA Sports a quick phone call to tell them about the Upa Dupa move. It is such a joy to watch, as is Bezapor, the orchestrator of such, as De Souza trying to find a move of his own to get beyond Defaria. Kassim hasn't ignited exactly yet, but you feel like he's got it all to do this evening as Bezapor takes over. But has it shot right at Hayabi, who is feeling the pressure, you could say, of the Persian.
Absolutely. What a wonderful young keeper. Ibrahim Hayabi. Phenomenal at stopping the ball. And fun fact, I beat him in FIFA 2 days ago, 6-2. Just a little fun fact there.
Not sure what relevance that might have on the contest, but
just a bit of fun.
That is certainly an encounter they'll enjoy in their off time. But meanwhile on the court, Jose Aliano getting caught up in possession. Now his counterpart number of Dos Santos regains. Distributes out wide to Kassim. Back in board to the Dr. Caro. De Souza steps around. Doesn't really bother anybody with that effort on goal. Nice game this, Josh.
I mean, 3 nice games so far. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better opening round. And this game is turning out to be something special. If Altona can get over the hump and stump Moreland on the first day, the first match day, that is something that will set a precedent for the rest of the season.
Pimenta. Ball towards Dos Santos. He couldn't go around Taliano. You mentioned Sadic. He's been involved. He piffs it long towards Pitta. Acknowledges the idea, but couldn't trap. So Caro finds Cooper. Fine touch for Pimenta. Bezapor in the way. Claims his ball. Will have it. 3:20 left on the clock. Sadic. Cooper in the way. Caro to Pimenta. Bezapor in the way to cut off that pass. He's fouled. They take a tumble over each other. And a timeout, Josh. An audience has been called The Knights issuing the ladder. They have a free kick upon their return to the court, but will return shortly following this timeout intermission.
It's good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detail. It's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Like make you unstoppable. Now what a bold.
So the Knights call for a timeout, and they have a free kick. Cooper, Tustizada, and Pimenta all in front of Natoli as he goes the low option, which Hayabi, like a spider's web you might want to allude to, just covers with his legs. Cooper had sights to goal. Saric handling to a tee.
I can't believe he just caught Adam Cooper's shot. That's not an easy feat.
Bezadpour opted to put the dancing shoes on, got it round and wheeled away, but couldn't find the angle. Tustizada might have hit his hand. Pimenta will continue the play and strike it right into Natoli. The two respective number 17s momentarily on each other. Now back into that individualistic battle. Cooper. Ahmed to greet him. Tustizada scrambles the ball towards Cooper. Pimenta steps inside, back to Cooper, winds up. Something Altona have done extremely well is just always ensure that there's always a man behind the ball upon a Moreland effort on goal. Bezadpour being lively. Ahmed tries to spin around Dos Santos. Rekindles with the force field. Natoli wanting to pass. Aliano, that option. He hits the deck. Draws the foul, and although there's 90 seconds left, no space for Moreland to commit more fouls. They might be able to get away with one more, but not two. As they have a free kick now, the Knights. You wonder how they're going to work it, Josh.
I don't know if they could beat Ibby on the wall from there.
They roll towards Locke, who lets fly. It had real genuine shape via the deflection. Minute left, corner for the Knights. They are slowly building case for an upset, perhaps. Angle was obscure for Abdurrahman Ahmed. He claims it might have hit a Moreland shirt on the way in. So they might get a chance again. Tafadia with some words to say on the bench, and Seb Lockers perhaps got confused with the call made by Tafadia. He's kicked it right towards him on the bench. That is what you call a coach killer, Josh. Deep in the first half, is there time for something to happen? Aliano intelligent to let it roll. He looks at the clock, where 10 seconds are left on this final fixture of round one. Sardic had the pressure coming from Cooper. And that's going to be all she wrote for the first half. We're locked in at a stalemate between the Altona Knights and Moreland. The initial goal scored by the Blues from the spot from Cooper was cancelled out by some Bezadpour brilliance. allows us to be in this position. We'll return for the final time after this half-time break on the YouTube and WeFroth app.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player, because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detailed, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. What a bowl. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. Crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'll be in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
A good futsal player has to be intelligent. It's the most important quality in a futsal player, because in futsal play is very fast, and you have to think really fast. You don't have time, you don't have a space. They have to enjoy the game. This finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that we know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level, so you have to work hard every day. It's detailed, it's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
Besapor gets the ball rolling for the second half, where the Knights showcasing their armour against this very strong and well-equipped Moreland Blues side. At the moment, they both can't be separated a goal apiece. Still all to play for in this final half of round 1. Josh Fusco has certainly been involved in the comments. A site we like to see and want to have more
I appreciate that,
throughout the season. Your thoughts on that first half?
It depends on the perspective of who's first half. If you're thinking Altona, I think it's a good half for Altona, but I don't think that's a good half for Moreland. Even though they had opportunities, I don't mean that in a condescending. It's just like they're such a team that they know their standard, and their standard is probably being 1 or 2 goals ahead now. But at the same time, at the end of the day, a result is all that matters, and I do think, despite Altona's pestering, Moreland will get the result.
You put an onus on their new star player of Lucas Cassin. He was a thorn in their side last time out when representing United, out of Western, of course. And you wonder if he can find that debut moment. That's the beauty of having 2 seasons and having those transfer windows. You have all these, you have this landscape of having those special moments from players in their new colours, and I might have just been taken off my point there because Cooper has completely falconed and unfazed Natoli in the face. Not sure if that was caught by you, Josh, but back on the point of those debut moments.
Yeah.
It's something that you hope for, especially, of course, for Lucas Cassin.
Lucas Cassin, definitely a very surprising addition to this Moreland side. I couldn't say anyone was expecting that signing, but they obviously have an understanding of the player that they want and how he can help the team. And it'd be interesting to see how he, does venture in the Moreland squad.
We noticed Kevin Lamb from Western City made the move to Fitzroy, and that was mentioned by Scott Rogan in the post-match interview, where it's all about adjusting and fitting into that style of futsal, which you could argue both Moreland and Fitzroy are rather similar. Of course, with their differences, but in complexion, it's nothing too far away from each other.
It depends what you mean by that. It's all depends on what you're defining as far away and what you define as different or the same. In terms of winning, I guess there is a similarity. They're both big clubs that do well. And that goes beyond SFE. In other competitions, Moreland win a little bit more often.
Well, they're certainly winners in the Clubs Cup. They're still chasing and trying to end that 4-year drought.
4-season drought
of the SFV title. And that's the thing, Josh, where although the Knights are enjoying this right now and they're going to look to try and win the game, obviously, Moreland can't afford to have any blips.
Look, it wouldn't be too far to say. It all depends on how Fitzroy shape up against other opponents at the same time, but usually you'd favour Fitzroy to win. And Moreland, a blip here at the start of the season is definitely not a good sign.
But Cooper looking to change that narrative. It's going to take a lot to get beyond Frano Sadic, and he's really proving to be that pivotal man for the Knights. Just not tonight, but throughout his entire career with the club. As Cooper's cross towards Cardo. Keeper Hayabi wanted the pass. The press was heavy, but the pass he releases is fine. Dos Santos, composed. Robson de Souza. Back to Dos Santos. Cardo. Uncharacteristically in a high position, usually see him more defensive. Tafade couldn't clear. Just consider Christos Apostolakis and how it's his absence perhaps is something Moreland not miss exactly, but more the confidence in terms of playing out the back, having that experience, and their natural captain. It is noted that when Apostolakis is in training and in warm-up with Hayabi, that they always practice the ground ball and the footwork of the new aspiring keeper. Still an element of his game that he's improving upon. Perhaps they just need that more confidence in their current shot stopper with his feet.
Look, I mean, definitely Christos Apostolakis is a phenomenal keeper, but this game I think it's more going forward that Moreland have struggled. Habe's done a very good job keeping the ball out of the net, bar one, a ridiculously good strike from Bezapor right in front of goal.
And Bezapor was striking it again. Hayabi handling away at the expense of a corner. Tafadia fizzing right across the goal. Put so much whip onto the pass when nobody was home to answer. Now Cooper. Pimenta keeps it alive. The Knights really settling behind in their defensive half. And Peter slides through the asphalt to turn it over for a corner. You look at the two respective managers, Josh. There's two completely different looks upon both their faces as a clearancely turned to be a goal over the top. Hayabi has the height to really handle, but although they look rather similar, Josh, the two managers telling a different story at the moment.
Well, one will be a little bit happier with this result than the other. Ooh, wow. I'll tell you what, one manager would have been really happy had that gone in.
Big chance there. And Pimenta steps in! And Frano Saric, like a movie character, just rolls from the dive. The ball had certainly gone beyond his goal, and he's got such an... You feel like Frano's in one of those moods tonight.
I was going to say the exact same thing. If Frano wasn't playing tonight, I think Moreland are up a lot of goals. Frano has been really good, and I think just his presence at the moment and the saves he's made earlier in the game must be just deterring the Moreland offense.
Their offense.
I mean, yeah, just they must be deterring the Moreland offense. They've seen a little bit off there, and I would say Frano's form is definitely contributing to that.
And you just know when the force field is fielding it, he just has that somewhat look about him, that nature about him. He has not blinked, I believe, since the start of this game. He's been so attentive to every moment. He's really caused confusion for everybody.
I'll tell you what though, Adam.
In a Moreland shirt.
I do think if there's one player who's going to break Frano, I think it's going to be Adam Cooper. I really do think Adam Cooper's going to get a shot past. And if he gets one off, Frano can be good, but Adam Cooper's shot can be much better.
It's holding. Tried to dance out of danger. So time just progressing naturally in this second half. 10 minutes away from stoppages. It's Cooper. Now Caro. Back towards Cooper, who winds up. Josh's tip is that Cooper is the man to fracture the force field, and so far he wasn't tested upon that Cooper chance. Now Pimenta isolated, skips beyond Natoli, reverse pass forward to Santos. Pimenta gets it back and keeps going. Pimenta right across the face of goal. There's a bit of a tense calm around the arena at the moment, Josh. Feel like something special could be on the cards, as Peter's pass was far from special.
Adam, I got to ask you, who do you think has been player of the match so far this game? There's still 13 to go, but just so far, who's been the most influential for you on the court?
The unbiased opinion would have to be, dare I say, Adam Cooper. He's been...
Yeah, definitely.
He scored that important goal for Moreland.
No, well, I'd say Frano, but actually, I'd say Frano first, but then Adam Cooper.
If it's for Moreland, it would be Cooper. If it's for Altona, it would definitely be Frano. On a grander complexion, the overall player of the match so far would have to be the force field. He's just... he's causing abundance of problems, and the warning signs are already sounding, perhaps, for the Blues. Given they've not really had an answer to get around him, he's taken a heavy touch. Even when he makes a mistake, it could turn into gold. Seblot nearly unlocked. Pimenta over the top. Chesney on. Now Frano wants to go. Love that intent. Perhaps a bit overzealous. You mentioned perhaps that he's been the player of the match, but he's been a bit fortunate there, Josh.
I think he's calculated with that type of move. He knows that probably has enough time to get back if he turns it over, at least if it's not a complete and utterly horrendous turnover, which I don't think he does too often. What a ball there from Frano. He's a very offensive-minded keeper and is able to really use his feet like no other.
He certainly caused some issues for Hayabi at one end with those long passes over the top. But just, I love the way he commands the space, the way he steps forward, allows for his opposition to just have to settle into what they're a deeper defensive position. Must admire the way he goes about it. As Cooper finds Pimenta. They're trying to find the goal. They'll put them in front. An emphasis on the Blues as Dustizada tried going low. Frano says that's no go. Dustizada yet again. It's positive from Mubasha. Stefadia. Ahmed holding up the play. Does well to find Seblock. Ani Pitta on the lesser flank. There was an overload on the opposite with both Stefadia and Ahmed. Dos Santos. Here's Cooper. Fusco's man. Back to Dos Santos. Has space for the shot. Yanni Pitta in front. Composed is Yanni. Wants to take the game upon himself. Pimenta bounces off of him. And looks up to the heavens. Because he was unhappy in not finding Cooper at the back post. They're building, Josh.
Well, they're building. But you can only build so far. It needs to be tangible. It needs to go in.
Dustizada and Hayabi coming together. Pimenta goes down and Ahmed straight away acknowledges what might have occurred there. Incidental. Pimenta happy to just get back up onto his feet and watch us back in real time. It's
good. Yeah.
I think he's trying to catch him perhaps, Josh. I don't think that was intended, but I mean, you'll never really know conclusively. Things happen in the heat of the moment, Jimbo. There's certainly a saying that's been synonymous throughout the years, and in the heat of passion, unsavoury things can transpire. But Pimenta, that might enrage him. He's back up on his feet. Let's see if it impacts the way he plays. Bezatpour back onto the court. Pimenta wanting to dance with Locke. Cooper. Cardo. De Souza does well to carve out the angle and create a corner. Just under 10 minutes to go. Can the doctor find something required? Here is Andre Caro. Cooper. Pimenta. Back to Cooper. The Knights really trying to make more than work for it. And there is Adam Cooper on cue. It was going to take something special to get it round the force field, who was looking frantic tonight. And there's the goal that alleviates Milton Sakos off the pressure that was mounting. Josh Fusco.
Yes.
There's your moment. You forecasted it.
Didn't I tell you?
And it came to fruition.
Didn't I tell you that was the next place to watch? I mean, it's Adam Cooper, and his shot is phenomenal. And as much as Frano is a phenomenal keeper, when he's straight in front like that, you know, you're going to hope he goes wide, or else it's a goal.
It's 2 for the Maul number 3. They're in hunt to their third. They're not unrelenting yet. The Sources just taking his eye off it right when it's mattered. And it's gone basically back to Thomastown Station. Bezatpour, he provided the equaliser in the first half. Has danced around all of them at the moment. Does a Booker T spin-a-rooney to get back up. This also tries to back heel. My wrestling fanatics out there, you might enjoy that one. Not sure if you're familiar with Booker T, Josh, and how he does the spinneroonie to get back up on his feet.
Wait, what's his name?
Booker T.
No comment. No.
Bit of Bezatpour in, or bit of Booker in Bezatpour, you could say, the way he just completely glided on the court and had spun like a fish out of water. They don't call him the human freight train for no reason, of course. A phrase coined by Michael Chavallo. We love his services here at Futsal Oz. Still looking to partner up with him from the commentary position. We hope that occurs in weeks to come from a more individualistic standpoint. As Saric moves it to Defaria. Chance was there to be had, which ricocheted kindly for Hayabi. Oh. Kassin causing some problems. Confusion there. Peter stepping inside of Kassin. Defaria, great touch. Now Natoli. Space opening up. The doctor prescribing what is a vital challenge, and Milton Sakos calling for calm. He wants his players to relax. Bezatpour trying to carve out the angle. Cardo in front of him. Spinneroonie yet again from Natoli. Cooper feints one side. Cardo couldn't pick out De Souza. Two players who have become great friends on and off the court. Have quite the understanding, just wasn't on display there.
So yeah, that's the difference between these two sides. Just fundamentally, Moreland can handle the pressure much better. And now the game's, it's 2-1. They're down. They need something. They get those pivotal moments, and they just can't convert those chances, Altona, and that's basically the difference.
Defaria sends De Souza for a slide. Like he was down the Alps at Mount Buller. I think in frustration, De Souza just wants to get rid of the ball in front of him. Down the slopes at Mount Buller.
I don't even know where Mount Buller is.
Snow, the Buller region.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I do, but this just leave it. I don't know.
Dos Santos. Here's Kassin. Perhaps been a bit nervy on his debut, but he's in some space here. Lucas Kassin for his new club, and look what it means to the new Northern man. Emphatic upon the celebration. A heap of time and space through the gates of the fractured force field. It is now 3-1 the score in favour of the Blues. Western United's boy is the Morelands Blues man. Look what it means to Lucas Kassin. That's going to send us to a short intermission called from the Altona Knights bench. We'll cross to a short ad break yet again.
Finally, futsal or football or basketball or tennis, it's only a game, so they have to enjoy. If they don't enjoy the game, they don't improve. No, they know that. We know as coaches that every day is good for improving your level. So you have to work hard every day. It's detail. It's important for improve your career. The group is the key of success. If you don't have a union group, you can win some matches, you can win some tournaments, but finally you don't win the World Cup or you don't win the European Championship. You need a strong group and everybody go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
So Lucas Kassin has his debut moment. That might perhaps give him that touch more confidence. He was rather feeling the pressure of lining up for Moreland, which was noticeable in his earlier play. But the Knights have a chink in their armour, which the Blues are exploiting at the moment. They've really made them earn their goals. As Cassin flicks on. Dos Santos would have been a shot, not a pass for De Souza. Now Pitta crossing in, Hayabi touching away. But just touching on the celebration from Cassin. It meant the world to him, didn't it? His head would have hit the arena if he jumped any higher. So there's that moment that we like to touch upon, Josh. This match had a couple of those throughout its duration. As Pira spin away was nice. Shot not so much as we're into stoppage time in Thomastown. Closing in on the first round. And it finishing up. I feel like the Blues, although having an early storm against them, they've weathered it well. And Cassin has somehow not converted from that range. Perhaps the ball might have been touched from the defender behind him. Great play from Dos Santos.
Why is Michael Tiaras coming onto the court is the question.
I think he wants to roll back the years of his social endeavours and perhaps see if he's still got it.
Don't think he does.
Here is the force field. Fractured is not the right statement. It's taken a lot to fracture him. Certainly was making some incredible saves. Still has, much to his credit, the goals he has conceded have been rather tough ones to handle through the gates, hitting the side of the net, close range, off the bar and in. Not much more the keeper could really do. As he's off his line here, Dos Santos closing in, angle's getting tight. But it won't matter for Kevin Dos Santos, the captain, leading by example for the Blues, and they're running away with it now. Josh Fusco, discuss your analysis.
What can I say? It's a turnover that's, as I was saying, when you get into those positions, the difference between the teams is the composure. And Dos Santos was composed as all hell when he got into that position, and he wreaked havoc with that brilliant finish.
Looking comfortable now are the Blues. Perhaps also trying to just have that sign to the competition, primarily towards the Tigers, that their intent is genuine in the second season of 2024. As Cassin, out of real estate, will have it back. Dos Santos. Trying to spin from Bezadpour. Cassin keeps it alive somehow. Cardo. Fine touch from the debutant. Keeps the move rekindled. Now Cooper chasing a hat-trick. Ball to Cardo. Frano, unreal. Great save from close range.
I mean, that's just like reactive. I don't know how you even stop that.
If it was anyone else, dare I say, they'd still be reacting to it now.
I mean, just have a look at that again. I mean, Cooper with the strike. Frano gets ready for that, and then just like the reactive save, he didn't even have to move.
Positioning awareness on full display from such a custodian, and is Frano, the force-filled Saric. But Moreland now strutting their stuff, comfortable in possession, making the options. Pimenta, that wide one.
Oh, wow.
Breezing through Enrique Pimenta. Dos Santos, they work it very well, and they find their fifth. Capped off by the man that started it. The boys embracing. The Blues rejoicing. Simply emphatic from Enrique Pimenta, who grabs their fifth goal, their fourth in front.
What a celebration to match.
The chink in the Knights' armour now becoming rather bigger as Pimenta is just having a field day at the moment. And Dos Santos is closing in Dus Tizada. Goal scramble there. Now Bezadpour, centre court. Confronted by Cooper. Still going Bezadpour. Hayabi wasn't sure where the ball went. This game nice and open now. 2 minutes 20 left. Consolations and further punishment to be inflicted, perhaps from Moreland. As Cooper wants the corner, gets a corner. Josh, in terms of goal scorer rankings for the season, very early days of course, but we are keeping an eye on the current ranks. There was a hat-trick scored in the previous game. Cooper is on a hat-trick. It was an award won by Josh Allen last season, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was by Cosimo Russo.
It could have been Russo. It was one of the two. I think Russo might have been player of the season, or vice versa. I wouldn't be exactly sure, but certainly something we might want to look to keep an active tally upon in the weeks to come.
Well, I mean, it's early days. You cannot tell who's going to... I mean, you know who will score goals. I mean, that's without a shadow of a doubt. But to say you're going to top goal scorer, way too early. Way too early.
And if the markets might open there, but the market on this contest is firmly suspended, with Moreland all but guaranteed to have the 3 points as Cooper chasing a hat-trick, unselfish and decisive. Robson de Souza opens his account from point-blank range. Crafty Adam Cooper went through the gates of the heavy press from Natoli. Could have gone on his own. Keeper in no man's land. And de Souza opportunistic upon the finish. Right into the roof of the net. The Knights, when this contest was competitive, were valiant. They kept it rather tight. But they have not been able to stem the bleeding since. So we're closing in on the conclusion of round one. Frano Saric might want to have a dig himself. Bezadpour, give and go, gets it back. Tafadia wants a side possession. Wouldn't mind seeing Frano Saric just say, why not, and have a hit as Bezadpour tried it yet again and can't afford to blink, Josh. It's just so quick.
Oh, I blinked and something happened almost into the net from Altona. That's a poor foul. Basha hits the canvas.
Don't think it was exactly ill-advised, perhaps, but that's 5 fouls, Altona. Not that it might exactly matter. They don't want to succumb to too many goals on this occasion as Saric plucks it out the sky. You can hear the calls for no fouls as Tolley thought he might have been off to the races. And it feels good for futsal to be back, Josh. It's quite the feeling. It was a rather 3 confusing weeks without it. It was great to see the women's competition return only last week. But now it's back in its full flight. Oh, Tizada goes down again. That's 5 fouls and a card. It's gone from bad to worse for the Knights. And Cooper will have the chance.
Did he catch that outside of the goal? I wonder. I mean, nevertheless, I mean, Basha, great step over. That's just a
clumsy.
Just poor. No need. He was beaten. He was beaten, didn't need to go for it. And this could be a goal. It's Adam Cooper. I just want to see this.
Josh, you were a man of percentages before.
Percentages, yes.
Give us your percentage to conversion ratio here.
I reckon he's got like a 5% chance of putting this away. Just throwing a number out there. 5%. Why not?
Well,
it's probably going to go in.
Cooper for his hat-trick. Has it denied by Frano Saric. Still chance remains. And Saric stands tall. De Souza could have been unselfish, but wanted to find his second.
Well, I'm going to go buy a lottery ticket, Adam.
I think that might be what should be the go from you, Josh. It's a nice idea from Ahmed to unlock Natoli. Cardo realises this contest can just have the sting taken out of it. As Cooper tries a rainbow, succeeds with a rainbow.
Touch the rainbow, taste the rainbow. It's a goal.
De Souza will close off with a goal from close range. Natoli makes a beeline for the locker room. The Knights had their armour ripped off and the Blues ran havoc on them. A 7-1 victory in favour of Moreland to round up round 1 of Season 2 for 2024 of the Series Futsal men's competition. We'll try grab a post-match player interview shortly to really wrap up the proceedings here tonight on YouTube and the We Froth app.
We go in the same direction. The futsal is totally different than in Europe or in other countries. I think there are good levels here in Australia. There are good players, so they have to work hard. And maybe in the future Australia is in the top.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Like what a bow. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. I'm riding around in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
We're joined by Robson de Souza of Moreland Blues, who in the first half of that game, it wasn't going your side's way. How did you weather the storm and come to what was an 8-1 victory in the end?
Yeah, I think in the first half we just hold a bit the game. We just defense more, and then we just wait for the second goal, and then things can happen. And then, yeah, the second half, I think everything happened.
There was many moments in the match tonight that were rather amazing to see. Was there any goal in particular, aside from your own, that you thought, wow, that is brilliant, that's amazing?
Yeah, sometimes we found each other in the court, but sometimes it's just pass, and nothing happened. But, yeah, I think everything went as a plan, and then for the second half, of course. Yeah, but even the first half, I think we just hold the game, and then we wait for the best moment to things happen, and then, yeah, how good.
It's hard to score against Frano Saric, who tonight was really causing problems. It was hard to get it beyond him.
Yeah, exactly. When we have a shot like the long distance, he always catch it, and he was good, and then we try to change it. We tried to find more the second post. A few balls we wasn't there, but we weren't there. But yeah, we found it after.
Found it indeed. You got the 3 points on this occasion. We wish you luck for next week's encounter. Robson de Souza of the Moreland Blues, thank you for your time.
No worries. Thank you very much.
And that
really appreciate that.
No worries. Thank
you.
you. And that is going to wrap us up for round 1 of Series Futsal Men's League, the second of 2024. We'll join you next week on the We Froth and YouTube application. I've been Adam Palombi. That's been Josh Fusco. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, goodbye.
I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. What a bow. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. I'm riding around in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
good futsal player.